about as warm as it gets today. It's about 4:30 right now. I just got set up. And I came to this public kind of planning on a specific hunt. And at the last second, I just changed my mind about everything. So at the last second, I just decided, I'm going to do something different. And I ended up going the opposite direction, dumping into this bottom. There's a big pond down here. That's one thing that I think a lot of the spots that I've been hunting recently has been missing, considering it's so warm out, is water. I mean, I'm probably 50 yards from this pond all through here. There's a little drainage ditch in front of me, and there's a bunch of tracks crossing this drainage ditch right here in front of me, between me and this pond. The wind's blowing away from the pond, going straight up this drainage ditch. I'm hoping the deer are bedded to the left or the right of me and come this way to the pond, because if they come from up top, I'm gonna get busted. It's just impossible. I'm still learning how to play the wind in these hills. It's very different because, I'm sitting here for this specific wind. But I know as soon as the winds die down and it starts getting late, those thermals are going to be pulling down to this pond. So I don't know. I don't know what to do, honestly. So I got some bad news. I actually lost a ton of my footage from my GoPro and from my FX30. I had some issues with SD cards, unfortunately. So I'm going to kind of walk us through the next few hunts here, just so, I don't miss anything. But
Saw them turkeys, didn't see anything else that evening. The next morning, I traveled back into kind of the same woods way off those bean fields where I found some crossings. And I was really excited about this setup, but I ended up bumping a bunch of deer walking in the dark, and I didn't see any other deer after that. But I got out of the stand, was doing some scouting, and I found these acorns. There was a white oak tree, a couple of them actually dropping like crazy. And this was the first time I actually found like really good feeding sign. You can see here, there were deer in here just tearing up the whole hillside. It looked like a bunch of pigs were in there rooting around. So that afternoon I headed back out for the evening hunt and got back in there next to them white oak trees. A little background on this spot, this little setup here. I wasn't really sure how to set up on it, but I came in from the bottom, and these white oak trees were on like that first bench. There was a really good deer trail coming off the top of the hill down to this oak flat. I figured if there's a big buck in here, he's probably bedded somewhere up on top of this ridge. There was a couple really good trails that kind of crossed down below the oak flat. There was a little creek crossing. And since I kind of walked through there and walked past it, I kind of decided to, just go for broke. And that was going to be downwind of me. If a deer came in on one of them trails, I was probably going to get busted, and just hope that that buck or a buck is up on that ridge and comes down upwind of me. But that's how I set up. I wanted to make sure I could shoot to them oak trees. Hope you enjoy the hunt.
That sucks. As soon as I saw them down there, I knew I was screwed. That big mama doe was not having it. I mean, they were coming here. They were doing what I thought they'd do. I figured they were bedded up high up there, and they were gonna walk down this way. Instead, they came from down in the bottom. Well, I got two options really. I think I'm leaning towards the second one. The first one is stay here. Pretty sure every deer in the woods heard that doe freak out down here. And, there could still be a buck up on the ridge bedded. Hasn't got up yet, or he just got up and he's working his way down. Maybe he didn't hear it. Doubt it. I think I'm gonna climb down and hike back out to that power line and glass that power line as it's getting dark and see if there's any deer out in that, feeding on stuff, because it's a big overgrown power line. Let's do it. Alright guys, hang tight. I'm gonna tear this crap down real quick.
So as I said, I ended up tearing my stand down early. Still had about an hour left. Worked my way back out towards the truck. There's this giant power line and this big overgrown bottom. And I was just trying to see some deer, trying to get some intel for the next evening, because I only had one more evening to hunt. And that's some of the footage I lost. I did see a couple does, but I didn't see anything that made me want to come back and try to hunt. So the next evening, I ended up going in on the private piece that my buddy Jason had acquired for us. It had rained all day that morning. Seemed like it was going to be good. Had a really good wind set up on this bottom. We actually had gotten a photo of a decent buck in velvet a couple nights prior to that, so hopes were high, but I did not see anything. And with that hunt, it ended my very first out-of-state whitetail hunting experience. So I learned a lot. It was frustrating at times, it was overwhelming at times, but it was super fun. And like, seriously, I suggest to anybody, if you're trying to become a better hunter, definitely give an out-of-state hunt a try. I feel like I learned more on this hunt than I've learned hunting the properties back home that I've hunted for 15 years, in 5 days. So I definitely suggest it. Like, if you're in the Midwest, there's several states that are pretty affordable. Kentucky is a pretty affordable out-of-state hunt, especially if you're in my situation where you know somebody down there and they're generous enough to allow you to stay there. It's gonna just make you a better hunter. It's gonna test you. It's gonna test your skills going into a situation where you have no intel. All you have is your ability to read sign and ability to, read terrain. It's only going to make you a better hunter. So even though I wasn't successful on this hunt, I definitely see it as a success. And I'm just laying more groundwork for the next trip and the next trip that I come out. So definitely an awesome trip. I will definitely be back this year, I hope. So stay tuned for that. Ohio's deer season has started, so definitely stay tuned for some upcoming episodes. I'll be hunting a lot of the farms that, if you've followed my YouTube channel, you've seen me hunt in the past. The Frank Farm, the Back 40. I got some pretty good content coming up. I've had some pretty good hunts already this year, so be on the lookout for that. And again, I feel like we got a lot of new followers and stuff. Thank you guys so much for subscribing. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Please comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you're notified every time I make a new video. Thank you guys again so much, and good luck this season. We'll see you on the next one.